सामुदायिक ग्रह उपग्रह भावग्रह अनिष्ट ग्रह।
American author and activist Terry Tempest Williams once said, "Rituals are the formulas by which harmony is restored." This powerful statement describes how through ritual one can find inner peace and happiness. An example of such a ritual is the Hindu puja. Through examination of the socio-cultural origin, ritual structure, and elements, it is evident that the temple and home puja ritual is significantly important in Hinduism, as it brings harmony and peace into the lives of the participants and brings them closer to the spiritual world. The experience of this ritual can be comparable to the tides rolling in onto a beach. As the wave seeps in, the sand is immersed into the waves, the way participants are immersed into the experience of the ritual. When the waves roll away, the sand is left wet, similar to the way participants are left with a feeling of peace and harmony after re-entering the ordinary world at the end of a ritual. The puja ritual transformed from ancient Vedic rituals and is classified as a rite of devotion. The ritual follows a loved structure which allows participants to fully experience each stage of the ritual and effectively leads them to the climax. Through the use of highly meaningful symbols, sacred spaces, and experiences with transforming powers, the Hindu puja ritual allows partakers to find harmony and meaning in their lives. The Hindu ritual of puja is a series of sacred acts performed by followers of the religion to worship the gods and goddesses. Puja involves chanting, prayers, and making offerings to the deities, and can be classified as a rite of devotion. Ritual is the performance of ceremonial acts prescribed by tradition or religion, and is a way of defining or describing humans. It is not certain when the ritual of puja originated. However, it is known that the puja was not initially part of Hindu practice in the Vedic times. The ancient Indians performed physical and ritual sacrifices to the deities, and often included chanting of mantras and offering of physical objects to the gods and goddesses, similar to the present-day puja. The Vedic people often built perfect geometric constructions from bricks to indicate the deities of nature. They believed that ritual shielded them from harm such as pestilence, natural disaster, evil, and divine retribution. The first recorded ritual, somewhat similar to puja, occurred during the events of the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, significant wars that occurred during the early periods of Hinduism. People during these times expressed their relationships with and devotion to the gods and goddesses through frequent rituals. These rituals evolved over time until morphing into the current form of the puja ritual. It is the most popular form of worship in Hinduism and can be performed in both homes and sacred spaces such as temples. The Hindu puja ritual can be classified as a rite of devotion. A rite of devotion is defined as a ritual used to communicate with the deities of a religion or with the other world. It often involves offerings to spirits or gods, as seen in the puja ritual. An ancient form of worship, the Hindu puja is a significant part of the daily life of Hindu people, and can also be examined using the Lovett ritual structure model. The Lovett structure is a model used to classify the different stages of a ritual, and was created by Terence Lovett, a professor at the University of Newcastle. The stages are entry, preparation, climax, celebration, and return. During the entry into a puja ritual, participants take off their shoes and wash their feet, before ringing the bell and entering the sacred space, usually a temple or in a special sacred room in a house reserved for this purpose, thus entering the other world. Preparation takes place shortly afterwards, when the initial prayers are said and offerings of fruit, rice, flowers, and lit lamps are placed around the central altar. The main puja then commences, involving chanting and prayers to the deities that the particular puja is dedicated to. The climax is where a connection is made with the other world. The higher power is experienced through making a connection to the spirit world, sometimes through the use of physical objects. In the Hindu puja ritual, this involves creating a consecrated fire called a homan in a large fire pit. Ghee or clarified butter is added to the fire to fuel it, as well as rice, sticks, and leaves, while participants chant and pray. The celebration occurs shortly afterwards, when the large flame is put out, signifying the end of the ritual. A large communal feast is held soon after, returning the participants of the ritual back to the ordinary world. Participants usually cook the food eaten at the feast, and it is consumed outside of the sacred space. Like the rolling of waves, the Lovett structure of a ritual allows participants to be truly immersed in a ritual experience, as it leads them from the ordinary world to the other world, not only through the stages of the ritual but also through its elements. Rituals are made up of many important elements, such as symbols, place, and transforming power. In a Hindu puja ritual, symbolism is vital. Nearly all objects and actions used during the ritual have significant meanings. These symbols include statues of the deities, flowers, fruits, incense, lamps, and other ornaments, as well as offerings to the deities. The statue of the deity to whom the puja is dedicated to is used as a centerpiece in the ritual. In Sanskrit, it is called the vigraha and means something that is devoid of the ill effects of the planets. The flowers placed around the statue represent the good that blossoms in the followers of the religion, and the fruits represent their self-sacrifice and surrender to the deities. Incense and lamps are lit around the statue and symbolize the light or the soul of the participants being offered to the gods and goddesses. Pots filled with water, fresh mango leaves, and coconuts are also arranged around the central figure before the start of the puja. The pot is usually made of earthen material and represents the Mother Earth. The water in the pot shows the earth as a life giver, and the leaves represent life. The coconut has a deeper meaning as it is a symbol of divine conscience and God. The prasad is another symbol and consists of food that is offered to the gods and goddesses. It is a symbol of the ignorance of humans, which is placed before the deity in exchange for enlightenment. When the prasad is shared, it represents the sharing of enlightenment and knowledge. One of the most prominent symbols in the puja ritual is fire. The fire is a representation of the sun, the life giver. Offerings such as ghee and rice are offered to the sacred flame, while chanting Sanskrit mantras which request Agni, the god of fire, to deliver the prayers and offerings to the deity to whom the puja is devoted to. Smaller fires are also lit in sacred lamps that represent the light of the devotees' souls, which they offer to the deity. Place is another important ritual element. The Hindu puja ritual is usually conducted in a sacred space, such as a temple, or an altar within a devotee's home. Temples are usually devoted to one deity and consist of an inner sanctuary where the statue of the deity is placed. It is considered to be a special place in which the inner and outer worlds commune, and we can experience divinity. For this reason, shoes must be removed before entering the temple, as the place is sacred and pure. The transforming power experienced during the ritual is directly related to the symbols and the place. Transforming power is an immersive engagement with the other world. In a Hindu puja, this transforming power is created through the ambience of the sacred space, where the participants are in an atmosphere where individual prayers are celebrated within the multiple participants. The use of sacred symbols also makes the experience more meaningful and powerful. A psychical contact is created between the participants and the deities, and through being a part of the ritual, the devotees become an element of the ritual. When the participant sees the figurine of the god, it creates a form of mystical experience known as darshan. This also creates rasa, the experience of the ultimate essence or flavor of the ritual. As Schwartz states, where taste, sound, image, movement, rhythm, and transformation meet, therefore the experience of rasa is possible. Through the structure, location, and symbolism of the ritual, Hindu puja brings meaning into the lives of the participants. Religious rituals have several different purposes, created by the structure and elements. However, the fundamental purpose is to bring unity amongst the participants. Similar to the rolling of tides, the structure leads the partakers through the important phases of the ritual, assisting them in leaving the ordinary world, and then guiding them to the climax where they ultimately experience a higher power, before finally leading them back to the ordinary world. Elements such as place and symbol provide increased interaction to the other world, as they contribute to the sacredness and meaningfulness of the ritual. The ritual of puja does this as it allows followers to communicate directly with the deities. The symbolism used in the rituals are physical manifestations of different aspects of the higher powers, which allow participants to interact with them, hence bringing purpose and meaning into their lives. When puja is conducted at home, many aspects of the ritual are similar to what is done in a temple. For example, sacred lamps are still lit around a sacred altar, and fruits and flowers are offered to the deities. The altar is in a sacred room devoted to the purpose, similar to the inner sanctuary found inside temples. However, home rituals do not involve the home on fire or sacred pots. While complete temple pujas may take hours and are done only on special occasions, home puja rituals are usually carried out at dawn and dusk daily and may take only a few minutes. Although there are many differences between home and temple puja rituals, the underlying purpose of communicating with the spirit world and imposing unity on the lives of the devotees is unchanged. The Hindu puja ritual is significant in helping the followers of this ancient religion find meaning in their lives. It originated from the Vedic times as a ritual that could build a connection between the deities and the devotees. Like the rolling of waves, this ritual immerses its participants in the sacred through the use of an elaborate ritual structure, which allows the participants to fully experience the climax of the ritual by leading them out and back into the ordinary world. The Hindu puja has ritual elements such as symbolism, place, and transforming power that provide sacredness to the ritual and give purpose to the followers. This vital and deeply meaningful ritual truly provides harmony and peace in the chaos of life.